got this tip from the fella I've been looking for all these years. A guy that calls himself Bandyman has suddenly appeared on the radar. How much time I all wasted looking for this guy. It was supposed to be an easy job. It never is. But he made a mistake. His time grows closer to the final tick of his clock. This man, this thing, must have been a genius to avoid me this long.
Tex Murphy. Where would we be without you? I'll tell you where we would be. We would be short of one good game and have more time on our hands. This is the first of a series of 5 Tex Murphy games designed by the one and only Chris Jones, who happens to also be the one and only Tex Murphy. And you can't help but feel sorry for the guy. Tex Murphy, that is, not Chris Jones. He is busy making a 6th Tex Murphy game successfully kick-started called Project Fedora, which is planned to come out this fall, this year. I cannot wait for that to come. I hope it will be fantastic, and if it has a shred of the previous game's magic, then we're all in for a treat. But enough of this. Prospects and possible futures. Let's talk about Tex Murphy, specifically Mean Streets. Released in 1989 for MS-DOS, Amiga, Atari, Commodore, the consoles of the time. The game is set in a future, ruined, dystopian, futuristic film noir world. Just saying that combination of words makes me excited about this game. But yeah, we get to play as Tex Murphy, a down-on-the-luck private eye living in a apocalyptic San Francisco in the year 2033. Shit, we ain't got long. But luckily, we got hired by a beautiful young Sylvia Linsky to investigate the death of her father, Carl Linsky, who worked at the San Fran University, was apparently working on a secret project. She asked him many times about this, but he never said anything. So, our job is to go and investigate why, just a few days ago, he jumped or was pushed off the Golden Gate Bridge. Police, in all their wisdom, say it was, suicide, but Sylvia thinks otherwise. And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go with a girl. First thing I will complain about this game. When I started to get going in the speeder, it's all really crap. The time to travel between places can take a while, especially near the end when you gotta fly to a cabin in the middle of nowhere. This is mostly due to Access Software, soon after having released a game called Echelon, wanted to develop another 3D flight sim, which ended up being Tex Murphy, and the storyline itself taking over the actual flight sim bits, luckily. And another thing you gotta keep remembering when you're playing a game like this is keep pen and paper handy, because you're going to need to write down a lot of clues and 4-digit address codes so you can keep track of what is happening. Ultimately though, I don't mind the speeder. I think the speeder is a really cool concept. I mean, I just wish they'd done it in a different way, like bring up a map of the San Francisco Bay and just have the locations appear when you discover where you need to go, and click on that and then put a cutscene in for the driving, like they did for Blade Runner. See, now that would be cool, but then again, saying that, the game was made in 1989, so I can't complain. Though saying that, the game was made in 1989. Games like F-15 Strike Eagle 2 were out then, and they had a far more better system for flying. If they just made it slightly more fluid, it could have made all the difference, but oh well. I'm brooding on the speeder for too long. Let's move on to the main mechanics of the game. For instance, the bread and butter of this game is questioning people to get the necessary information we need for them. Usually this deepens the plot and allows us to move forward in the story from either giving us more people to talk to or dress codes of places to go and start looking into. Actually, thinking about it, Tex is quite a badass. If you don't answer his questions, he will throw a punch and beat you into submission until you do. And if threatening isn't your way, you could bribe. I prefer the former. And of course, like in any other game, there is of course the undesirables that you really don't want to kind of speak to. I mean, Linsky had game, but come on, he had the wrong kind of game. You know what I mean, right? I'm sorry, give me a minute, I'll make this better for you. There we go. But don't worry, it gets better. Oh yeah. Though saying that, there is a huge variety of characters in this game. There is literally like a small army of people that you can talk to find information. That's where the pen and paper come in. You gotta make sure you got that, otherwise you're gonna have no idea who to talk to. That's the first part of the game, really. The second is actually exploring rooms in more traditional adventure setting, finding items, looking at them, exploring your surroundings, solving various puzzles some can only be solved by getting the relevant information from questioning people. See how that ties nicely? And some rooms are even bugged, or not really bugged, but timed, such as the alarm has gone off and you need to try and switch it off before you get caught. And that brings me nicely to the third part, combat. There's a few times when Tex Murphy will need to get his hands dirty and start taking out some guys that are planning trouble. For Tex, that is. And it may look simple, but you're gonna fumble the keys on the keyboard once or twice during combat because you remembered you forgot to save. Oh yeah, been there. So that's the solid mechanics of the game, minus the faxes you receive from your secretary and informant and sometimes other people. Talking about other people, as you've noticed, there's a lot of interesting characters, and you gotta give it to Access Software. They're a pretty interesting idea of how a post-apocalyptic San Francisco would look like. Well, maybe not so much look, but feel, because you're not gonna get any eye candy playing this game, which is running 256 color VGA graphics. But you at least get a chance to listen to Access Software's patented real sound tech, and Tex Murphy was the first game ever to have this. Some speech, music and sound effects are digitized, but not a lot, but still adds some atmosphere. So that's it really. Overall, clunky graphics, sparse sounds which are bearable, and slow control movement with some apparent faults in searching rooms. The game still has a lot to offer. Interesting characters, solid story, and even tense moments when you see that little clock in the top right ticking. You will have fun playing this game, and it's easy to get going now with goodoldgames.com or GOG on the scene. So there's no excuse for not giving this game a try. Dish out a few dollars and you could be playing a piece of gaming history, which slowly transformed itself over the years to something fantastic, with my favourite even being Under a Killing Moon. And with a committed fan base, I see only good fortunes for Chris Jones and Tex Murphy. To me, Tex Murphy, he is far from dead, and he is coming back soon with a vengeance.
Oh, Sylvia.
Tex, lower.